Childfree. I'm Cody Hetzel. I'll be one of your moderators.
Hi, I'm LeNora Faye. I am also one of your moderators for today's panel. You cut out, so I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh no! Well, welcome to Defining Childfree. I'm Cody Hetzel. I'll be one of your moderators.
And I am LeNora Faye. I will also be one of your moderators.
It's early. All right, let's get the kinks out of the way. First, thank you to our sponsors, presenting sponsor Childfree Media, champion level sponsor Childfree Wealth, and other sponsors 365 Diversity, Best Child Free Life Possible, found on Facebook. Buy Childfree, Buy Childfree, Childfree Family, Childfree Journals, StopHavingKids.org, StreamYard, and the books The Age of the Child by Kristen Tsetsi and Wild Egg by Jennifer Flint.
And our disclaimer, the opinions expressed within the content are solely the speakers and do not reflect the opinions and beliefs of the event or its affiliates. So with that, we will get our speakers on stage, please. Isabel.
Hello.
Ray.
Hi.
Jamie. Lily.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you.
Hi. Hello.
So let's just dive in with the easy stuff. Tell us about yourself. Isabel, kick it off.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Isabel, and I am the founder of the Uprising Spark. I am the childfree friend you didn't know you needed, but you do, actually. You didn't know you want it, but you need. I organize trips for childfree people. I'm a childfree coach, and I'm also part of the Childfree Girls podcast with LeNora and Kristen Tsetsi.
Awesome. Lily.
Hi, I'm Lily Rottelin. I'm a singer-songwriter based in New York City, and I have a song out called Childfree. It is our anthem, I hope, for everybody that's child-free. And some of my music has been on TV and film, and I've been featured in the New York Times recently. So a lot of fun and exciting stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Jamie.
Oh, hello. I'm Jamie Mays. I'm 31 years old, and I live in Austin, Texas. I work in the criminal justice field that allows me to travel throughout the state, which is might as well be as big as the country. And when I'm not working, I'm a mother to up to 1,000 exotic fruit trees, seedlings, and cacti, especially dragon fruit. So that's my passion is growing exotic fruit trees and tending to animals. And I also play Irish music and dance almost every week, and I attend various Irish events throughout Texas. So I'm always there.
Very, very cool. Ray.
Hey, I'm Ray Lofton. Well, today's my birthday, so
happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So I'm one of the co-founders of Polyam Love Style on Clubhouse. So I do a lot of polyamorous education. I've also been in the social services field for like the last 7-8 years or so. And I'm a writer. I published my first short story a few months ago, so it's also very exciting.
Very cool. All right.
We have one. Okay, I was gonna say our final speaker, Tara. Hi, Tara.
Hey, Tara.
Hey, how are you?
We're great. All right, so we're introducing ourselves. Please introduce yourself, and then we'll go into the questions.
Awesome. I am Tara Chantel. I'm a self-love advocate, and I'm a spiritual activist, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Happy to have you.
All right. So the first question, why do we need to define ourselves as child-free? So we will start with Isabel. Isabel, go ahead.
I believe that we need to define ourselves as child-free to find other child-free people. I guess it's to find community, is to connect with people that, we have that in common, especially because I guess most of us have friends who have children, and it's not impossible, but it's very challenging to continue with those friendships. And I think our community needs to be stronger. So I think it's that's the main reason.
Thank you.
Right,
Lily, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'd see that as an opportunity for us to speak up about our freedom and to be proud of who we are, because very often we get the reaction when we say that we don't have children. It's either a pity reaction, like, oh, I'm so sorry, or it's, oh, why? You'll just regret it. And that is just never the case. And it's really important that we show the world that we're very happy and proud to be child-free.
Absolutely. Jamie, go ahead.
All right. It's important to define child-free to have a clear and consistent definition that everybody can use and everybody can apply to themselves. Because if we don't, it's up for misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and potential abuse. Excuse me. Um, simply we need to make a distinction between the conscious choice to not have kids or other circumstances on why one cannot have kids. And we also need to define what child-free isn't. It's not, oh, I don't want to have kids now, but I want them in the future. Or, hey, when I was your age, I said I didn't want to have kids, but now I have them. It's not that. It's not, we're having a date night or a night out without the kids or sending the kids to relatives on the weekends. No, you're still a parent. It's not, I'm child free because my kids don't live with me, or I'm child free because my kids are grown and out the house. No, empty nesters, they might come back to the house, and it also definitely child free includes people that are not actively trying to have kids. So clear definition, definitely defining what it's not, and just making it known that, hey, this is what we mean when we say child free.
I sense that this panel could go into a debate for 3 hours just based on what you just said. All right, Ray, go ahead.
I agree with what Isabel was saying, that it's important to define ourselves so that we can find our community, but also because you never know who might be struggling with the same sentiments of like what to do. And I think it's important to put multiple faces to a community from all different age ranges, backgrounds, to see how fulfilling it is in the different stages of being child free, especially because there's always those external pressures.
Thank you, Ray. Tara, go ahead.
Yes, I think we should redefine child free because it's so important to shift the paradigm. Most people are going down this unconscious road, not understanding that they have a choice. They have a choice to live for themselves. They have a choice to live out their dreams. They have a choice to choose themselves. And I think it's the audacity. You have to be bold and have the courage to do whatever you want with this life. It's no certain pathway we should all just follow like some sheeps. We should really think for ourselves. And it's just showing people to really just wake up and really start thinking for yourself. Is it really a logical decision for you? Can you actually handle this type of responsibility? Are you just going to put on your traumas to this kid? So it really calls for a lot of healing that we are choosing to do, and actually looking inward instead of pointing out to solve all problems.
Thank you, Tara. This has been a great panel to kick off day 2, I think.
It is. And I wore this shirt specifically like to ask this question: what is your definition of child free? And we'll keep the same order we've been going. Isabel, go ahead and kick it off.
Oh man, that's like the hardest question. And this brings me back to many discussions that I've had with a lot of child free people, because there isn't one definition. I think everyone has their own opinion about what child free is or should be. To me personally, being child free is deciding not to parent another human being, because I hear a lot of like dog moms and cat moms and plant moms. But it's parenting another human being. That is like the most concise, small definition that I can say, child free is for me.
All right, Lily.
Yeah, I would see it as the conscious choice and decision to not have children, and taking that liberty because we have it. And yeah, I think this is pretty much that. I'll just keep it short.
Yeah, that's all right. Short definitions are good. Jamie.
All right. To me, child free is not as mentioned, not wanting, having, or being responsible for children in any way, shape, or form. It's a conscious decision, self-aware decision, well thought out decision to not have kids. Each of us have our own reasons, and we definitely don't need to share them to anybody, but they may be similar between other child-free people. Oh, I don't want to have kids because straight up don't want to. It can be as simple as that, and other reasons as well. And also, I guess me being child-free by choice, I never attempted to have kids, which is something that my doctor asked me, because I was in the sterilization panel yesterday, and that was one question that I was asked, like, have you ever tried to have kids? Like, no, I never actually thought about that. But, I've never, that's part of my conscious choice. And yeah, that's pretty much not being responsible for human children.
All right, Ray.
Hey, so to me, child-free means someone who does not have any children biologically, through marriage, foster care, adoption, or anything like that, by circumstance or by choice. Like I said, I did struggle to figure out like the difference between childless and child-free for a lot of nights, but I settled there for the most part. That's what it means to me.
All right. And Tara.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we've got you muted.
Tara, you're muted.
Okay, thank
They
you. Thank you. Child-free to me means living on your own terms. Child-free means to me living a life that is carefree, no worries. You're not being an authority figure to other people. You're truly deciding to live life on your own terms. And I think it's truly peaceful when you're choosing to live a soft life on your own terms.
Yeah, I think it was a great question to ask everybody, because we got 5 similar yet different answers at the same time, and it just kind of shows how malleable the term is currently, and how we're trying to find maybe something that is agreeable for the majority. I don't know.
So let's talk about the gray areas of the definition. So what are your thoughts on something like, dating someone who has children, or or the step parent role, or giving up a child for adoption? Is that considered child free? Like, this is a conversation that never ends. Some of us, we've already participated in a similar conversation, but please share your thoughts on the gray/fringe areas of the definition based on your opinion. Isabel, we'll start with you.
Well, this has evolved for me. I guess at the beginning, when I first discovered and I embraced the child-free lifestyle, I was very like no children at all. But now I think, because based on the definition that child-free is for me, which is not raising children, so it's not being responsible for children financially, emotionally. I think that gray areas. I mean, I know people who are child-free who have married or are in relationships with other people who have children from previous marriages, and they're maybe teenagers or they're already grown-ups. And so I think that if you don't have to play a part of that responsibility, emotional or financial responsibility, and you can be like the cool aunt in a way by being the parent's partner, you can still be child-free. I also think that somebody who has a child because they don't believe in, I'm pro-choice, but I understand that there are women, because I'm pro-choice, I understand that there are women who don't want to get abortions, and that's totally respectable too. And there's also people who have decided not to have an abortion for whatever reason, and then place that child in adoption, and they're child-free as well, because they don't have any responsibility over that child. So that's my personal opinion, I guess. And it's definitely evolved.
Thank you, Isabel. Lily, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Isabel has said. What I would add is, I think there's 2 questions in your question, LeNora. I think that dating someone with a kid or step parenting is just like parenting. If you do have a role, like if it's a small child and then they're gonna call you mom or dad, right, or anything else, and this is like pretty much like having a child. So I don't think that's child free. On the other hand, also don't think, like in the case of people that originally wanted to have children, but then they decided to not have children, or if a woman has decided to carry the pregnancy and then give the child for adoption, I think you don't have to be child-free since forever. I think it can just happen in those circumstances. It's not something that, for me, it's been like since I'm 15 and forever. I knew since I was very young. But some women and men, they might they might think they're not going to be child-free, and then they will be child-free, or they will give a child for adoption. So I think these are my thoughts.
Thank you, Lily. Jamie, go ahead.
So it's for the most part, similar with dating somebody with kids, step parent. You're the person's choosing to be responsible for somebody else's kids. Yeah, even though they may not have kids of their own, which is the similarity between child-free people. They're choosing to be responsible for another human. So to me, that doesn't quite count as child-free, because most child-free people don't want to be responsible to human children at all. And if you're going to get involved with somebody else's children, you might have to be involved with the other parent, family dynamics. Have to go by that family schedule, and usually doesn't matter if it's casual or going to be serious. That person's going to be responsible for other people's children, and giving your kid up for adoption, I think that's a slippery slope, because technically the person had a kid, something that most child-free people don't want to have the kid, but yet I think Lily mentioned, you're not responsible for a kid, so it's like there's two parts of the situation that might cover the child-free definition, but to me it leans not being child-free, because although you gave that person up for adoption, there's still somebody out there in the world that you gave birth to or created, and they may want to be involved again or reach out to you, and for whatever reason they wanted know who their family was, medical records or whatever the situation, whether the person who adopted the child out will be involved or not is kind of irrelevant. But I don't really consider that as child-free, because they still technically had a kid, even though they're not responsible for one. But that child may want to reconnect with you in the future, and that the adopter is going to be involved with that person again.
Thank you, Jamie. Ray, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's a blurred line when it comes to dating. Maybe in the short term, I think you can get away with it. But if you're talking long-term relationships, commitments, a marriage, or something of that extent, you're going to slide into a co-parenting role, and therefore, for me, you lose your child-free status. If we're talking like a person who had a child and put them up for adoption, I think where I fall in that is that they're not child-free, but they're childless. But nobody knows that unless you tell them. So, it depends on how much you want to disclose. Me personally, I don't date people with children anymore, because if I want to live my life, it doesn't align, and I don't want the responsibility, even emotionally or anything, to even be a fun aunt. So I just think it's a blurred line. And if we're talking short term, it works. But if we're talking long term, it doesn't.
Thank you, Ray. All right, Tara, go ahead.
Ray, you have hit it on the head, sis. I do not date no one with kids, no baby daddies this way. No. They bring too much problems, too much drama onto our lives, because I'm really big on women empowerment. And I know women doesn't just have a baby unconsciously with people that they don't see a family with. So I would encourage men to stay with their women that they had a child with, because that's nothing light, that's nothing to play with. You can really die giving childbirth. So I really encourage a family unit to stay together. So that's off limits for me. And I really believe that it takes a village to actually guide children here. So everyone should not just be a parent. Everyone's not fit and built mentally to even have that load in. So I think some people have to be selfless and not conceive children and be like, you know what, I'm just going to help you with this child, whatever may you need. And I feel like as being a single woman, I get pulled left and right in all different directions. I think it's harder to be single because you have so many people needing your help and wanting you around. So someone has to really be selfless and be a service to someone.
Thank you, Tara. So I guess we have a few comments on this topic from the audience.
Yeah, I'm purposefully not looking at the comment section just to.
I'm dying to look at the comments.
I've got so much faith in its viewers for giving us their opinion on this as well. So, Childfree Millennial, being a stepmom would not sit well with me because it feels like a responsibility you'd be forced to fill because of the person you're with. No thanks. Thanks for that comment.
So we'll go. Is there questions in the audience? Otherwise, I guess we have time for some comments.
We can keep going. Otherwise,
if any of the panelists want to comment on the comments, please feel free. So, all right, director, bring them up. Okay, so it's important to define child-free because not everyone knows about this lifestyle, especially in the culture I'm raised in, where having a kid is the norm. It's liberating to find other child-free people. I think that's something we can agree on, you know, and you know, all of us here on this screen are vocally child-free people. Like we're public about it to some extent, but we're vocal. And you know, we have all benefited in some way. You know, Lily wrote a song, Isabel and I podcast. Ray, I know you, like all of you. We're all here. We're all doing, you know, part of this event, and it's a beacon in a way. You know, just like, hey, we're not alone. So, you know, that's changed a lot of our lives. Cody, you want to take this one? Hey, V.
This is so is someone who considered themselves child-free, got pregnant, kept the pregnancy to term, and gave birth, but gave the child up for adoption, still child-free?
Who wants to answer that question?
I'll go. Like I stated earlier, to me, that's a childless person. And I simply say it that way because you did have a tiny human. And, you know, even though you are no longer parenting it, you have no attachments to it, you do. Like, you know, if they want to look in the records, if they want to find there, you have a person who's biologically connected to you. So you're just, to me, you're childless. It's just not around you. You know, it's not a part of your everyday life. But I personally would not call you child-free, just childless.
I think that everyone's definition, it depends on what your child-free spirit animal is. Is your spirit animal time, travel, the environment, just to not have to have that responsibility of raising another sentient being. So that, I think, kind of skews everyone's opinion. That's why it's so varied. That's why this is such a great topic to have, to hear everyone's opinions, and just to show that even though we're all in the same boat, we can still have different opinions but still get along. For the people that say we don't really need a definition, I don't want to be defined by a label. As was said earlier, well, how else are you going to find other people that are like you if we don't have a term for what our lifestyle is?
Does anyone else want to answer that question?
Yeah, I want to say I disagree with Ray.
That's okay.
That's okay.
No, I know. But I mean, because we all have very strong feelings about many things, you know, because of the way we were raised, because of the culture we were raised in, because there's so many factors that come into play. And I believe that some people who have the capacity to birth other humans, some of them don't even want to think about abortion, and that's okay. But if you are child-free and for some reason, because it happens, I mean, shit happens, get pregnant and you honestly don't want to have an abortion, it's also your choice. It's your body. So birthing the kid and then saying, well, I don't want this responsibility, and then placing it up for adoption, that doesn't make you, for me, it doesn't make you any less child-free. Even if the kid comes back later looking for you, you know, because this is something that Jamie also mentioned. You don't have any part in raising that child. You don't have any responsibility. financial, emotional, in any way. You're just hoping for the best for this child. I personally wouldn't place a child for adoption, but that's my opinion, and I think there are people who would disagree with me because they just wouldn't abort. They wouldn't have an abortion.
Thank you, Isabel. Who else wanted to answer? I didn't see who else.
I wanted to add something if possible.
Okay. Yeah.
I see it a little bit in between Isabel and Ray. I think a woman or a man, any individual, if they wanted to be child-free for a portion of their life. So, for example, they had given up a child for adoption, and it doesn't mean that they will reconnect with that human for until the rest of their life. They could as well, and a lot of people that gave up their kids for adoption did that. They just don't want to connect with them at all. They just refuse any connection, and that's just how it is. They decided to live their life child-free without that child, and that's just how it is. So this is one thing. And then I also think that if somebody was child-free for 20 years and then in that situation, if then they wanted to reconnect with the individual once they're an adult, there's no more responsibility there. They just want to have that connection with that adult child. I don't see it as something that's really has to be in the box and like really, really strict on some things. Yeah, it doesn't have to be really polarized. And the same thing if a woman or a man, they don't want to have children and they live the child-free life for 30 years, and then they actually really want to have a child, I just see that, why not? So that's just it's not my choice, absolutely not, but it's their choice to decide.
Yeah, I think we might have one more question from the audience we'll try to get to here. So question, I've had multiple parents tell me they have a child-free, quote unquote, mindset, but they just mean they do self-care. Why do you think our community is simply perceived as people who don't self-care?
Who do self-care? Okay.
Who do self-care, sorry. People who do self-care.
Because we do. Sorry.
Not having kids is our self-care. And we like me, I've always known I didn't want to have kids. I never had, like, if I see a child, I see a baby, I never had the urge to want that. And to know that, hey, I am not interested, do not have the capabilities to raise a child. Having it is one thing, but people, when you're going to have a baby, no, you need to think about actually raising that child. It's only a baby for a year. And I have no interest or desire to do that. And having that conscious thought is self-care, because I'm preventing, stress and anxiety and frustration. If I didn't listen to myself and have a kid that, I'm having trouble raising and not interested in being involved. So, being child-free is self-care, because you're doing something to, you better yourself, you're listening to yourself, and what you want and don't want in life.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to wrap the panel up. If there's anything that you would like to plug, promote, let people know how they can reach out to you after the convention for maybe follow-up questions, feel free to share that now. We'll start with Isabel.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, mainly at The Uprising Spark. I organize trips for child-free women, and I'm organizing a trip for child-free people, just women, men, non-binary, child-free folk, this October, and it's actually going to be announced this Monday, well, tomorrow.
Oh, so, finally, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, because LeNora is actually coming with us. So stay tuned, join my mailing list so you can get all the details first. And thank you for watching.
All right, Lily.
All right. You all can find my music on all music platforms, and my song Childfree is out everywhere as well, and on YouTube. There is a video with it, and there's lots of interesting comments, some good ones, some bad ones. Feel free to answer to them. But you can also find me on Instagram, Lily Rotolin, LILIROQUELIN, and all other social media. So just come by and say hello.
All right. Thank you. And Jamie.
All right. So y'all can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I have a channel called Shamrock Girl World, and it's all about exotic fruit trees, how to grow them from seeds, because I do have a lot from seeds, and fruit guide. So that's my world there. And then Instagram has occasional Irish music and dance in there. So if you're interested in that and learning more about growing fruit trees and growing your own fruit forest, because that's essentially what I have, you can definitely follow me at Shamrock Girl World on both primarily Instagram and Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
All right. Thank you. And Ray.
Hey, you can find me on Clubhouse at Polyam Love Style. Do lots of education on that platform. You can also find my first self-published book on Instagram at The Right Hemisphere. So right as in WRITE hemisphere.
All right. And Tara.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity, this platform. It's amazing. It's so liberating, and we are extremely thankful. And you guys can connect with me on all platforms, Tara Chantel, TeraChantelle. And I would love to see you guys on the other side.
All right. Thank you so much for this conversation. We could have gone for another hour, but we do have to wrap. Rebecca is going to post all of your social media handles in the chat for the live portion. So Rebecca, that's your cue. Again, thank you everyone for contributing to the 2022 Childfree Convention. This has been the Defining Childfree panel. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.